My name's Ellie, welcome to my channel. We're doing more makeup, fancy makeup, if we can. So I want to play with the Natasha Denona Safari palette, and I want to pair that with some pretty colors in the Lila palette. Mainly because, again, as I've said, and the last time I used this, this is a addition palette. This, in my opinion and how I intend to use it, is more of going to add fun colors, and I really kind of want to fuck with this blue, this gray blue tone, and I'm going to probably pair that with this one. So we're going to be using Fata Morgana and Lotus, hopefully, to build a fun crease for me. And then I have plans about using Amethyst and Helio on the lid for like a look, you know, a makeup look, because I'm wearing makeup today. I have been back at work. It's been weird. And I filmed looks so that I could like put some stuff up, and like I've now officially done 1 full week back. I'm gonna start with Fata Morgana in the crease and then try and blend it out with Lotus so that we can hopefully keep more of the blue. Honestly, this might blend out on its own, not too complicatedly. But it's been weird because I hadn't gone to work for 2 months, and that kind of changes your whole mentality about preparing for like days of the week and doing this and that. Before that, I hadn't had time that was kind of just full recreation time for more than like maybe a week, and even then, like during that week I'm preparing for the fact that like after the vacation I'm going back to work and all of that. Yeah, we might just be sticking to Fata Morgana. We might not even need Lotus. But anyway, I had filmed some looks and I was prepared. I put them on YouTube, and then I did not remember to like load the demographics and actually schedule them to go live, so they're there. You will get them before you get this video, but this video is where you get to find out that I'm not so bright sometimes about planning stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the edge and see how far out it'll blend on its own. It doesn't bode well that I can see lag as it's filming. Hopefully that doesn't fuck up the video. If it does, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tap like once into Fata Morgana, then kind of shake off excess. I also am a little jumpy because I saw a spider. I am not good with things that have that many legs, despite the fact that logically I get that spiders are super helpful for controlling other insect populations, and anything with more than 4 legs or less than 2, I get wonky. So like, I'm not good with snakes. They're cool from a seeing them from far away possibility. I cannot really, like, their anatomy is real cool. They're very interesting in concept, but I don't deal well with the fact that they can just kind of hide in holes and pop out, and just something unsettling about the way they move. That's very much a me thing, so if you like snakes, that's cool. I can't handle them. I'm going to take just a tap more to make sure we really have it in that outer half. Oh yeah. That's a nice blue. So yeah, I'm dealing with being back at work, which is weird, doing a job that is new to me because of how we're dealing with bringing back employees from furlough and what is like top priority to get done. I'll put down a cream base and then we will go in with the other colors. Yeah, it's been weird, and stuff's opening back up in my area, which is stressful because, like, yes, it's open, but that doesn't mean everybody should go out, and sometimes you kind of just, in the office, you come across people talking, and you're like, no, I don't care that it's Memorial Weekend, do not start planning a trip to Lake of the Ozarks. Barbecue in your backyard. Don't go somewhere. Like, unless you have a cabin by yourself, you're not seeing anybody else, you're not interacting with a shared space, which even then you're going to be out on docks and, again, shared public spaces. That's a no. That's a, y'all are gonna fucking get us shut down again worry of mine. Because currently, I'm helping out with insurance verification and patient balances for scheduled surgeries. And we have people who had already kind of talked to their doctors and been referred to a physician and had scheduled procedures before the shutdown, and then we're kind of getting those people back in. But we are going to hit a wall of burning through those and coming up on the fact that other people haven't been going to, like, their PCPs and their ophthalmologists in order to get the referral to a surgeon to schedule through our surgery center. And we're going to run through all those people, and then our volume is going to drop back down, and we're going to have to find other stuff to do with our days. I'm going to start. So, cream shadow is down. My eyeshadow looks different on both eyes, but we're already here. We'll blend a little bit afterwards. I'm going to start with Amethyst on the outer half because it's really pretty. And it has a strong blue tone that I think is going to work really well with Fata Morgana. Oh yeah, I think that's cool looking. So yeah, it's been weird getting back in the mindset of you have something to do tomorrow, you have something to do after the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Trying to wash my cloth mask every day, or my mom's working on making multiple so I can just kind of go through a couple and not have to find, like, I was decently lucky in that I needed to do laundry one day and then I had to do some towels the other day so I could make loads of laundry to go with it, but I don't want to run it on its own. And since I'm doing stuff, and during, shutdown, I was going out once a week or something, normally without any makeup on, and I could just kind of leave my mask in the car so that any residual germs would kind of dissipate over a couple days. But I'm wearing makeup to the office, so makeup gets on my mask, and I have to bring the same mask in and day out, and I want to lower the exposure rate as much as I can because a good chunk of our patients are senior citizens with potentially, compromised immune systems, and since I do have to go in and out of some of the office space out of the billing area I'm in. Oh, this is Helio. I wanted to try to keep it safer. Not quite so just, oh yeah, it's fine, my mask makes everything safe. So I'm not going out of there more than I have to, but I do, depending on the day, have to go into the office, the shared space with patients several times a day. More depending on certain days. It's been, yeah. I have learned that there is a slight upside to wearing the mask, is that it kind of where it sits on my face, it rubs off some of my highlighter, so I get to reapply highlighter when I get home if I want to, feel fancy around the house. I don't have to, because, well, You don't have to do anything you don't want to, but for the overall look that I like, I then reapply my highlighter, which means I'm getting extra usage on my Project Pan highlighters. I did finish one. Oh, that's such a nice look. Ooh. Ooh, I like this. This is pretty. I kind of want to take, yeah, we're going to do that. I want to take some of Amethyst on my lower lash line. Oh, why did I do that? And then I potentially want to blend a little higher on this side with Fata Morgana. We've also kind of been, I've been talking to my ladies, and we're kind of all in the, like, we're all doing our best to follow quarantine and social distancing and all that, but we're just sitting here like, we were just starting to think about the fact that we need to start making ladies' nights a thing, and going out and having drinks and gossip and, you know, trying fun restaurants and bonding as fun ladies do, because it'll be fun. And we thought about that. We've all agreed that we want to do it, and we can't because you're not going anywhere. You're not supposed to be interacting anywhere you can avoid it. So we've now started just discussing all the fun shit we want to do. You know, going together at somebody's place and drinking and making tie-dye, and eventually I'm hoping we work up to like a girls' weekend trip. That sounds fun. I'm gonna take a little bit of, I keep saying a little bit, some of Juno for my inner corner highlight. And then we can go into blending the edges and trying to get Fata Morgana a little higher on this side. Oof. I think this turned out real cool. Also, if you were interested in trying out more obscure lipstick colors that you weren't super confident with, if you're wearing a mask, you can wear whatever the fuck you want under the mask. You can test any lipstick, and if you don't like it, it's hidden under a mask, and only you really need to know what's there. If you only want to do half a face of makeup because you're only seeing the top over your mask, you only have to do half a face of makeup. You actually don't have to do anything, but you have the excuse to lean into whatever you want to do with that. Okay. I'm going to start kind of popping this higher up. I did have a medium fun time. Nisa Pisa, who's awesome, did a Tipsy Me Does My Second Eye, because she does her tutorials in a way that she does one eye and then recreates that on the other one with steps. I'm not that fancy. I only know how to do both of them at the same time, so whatever we get is what we get. Somewhat symmetrical. I think that's good to go on the eyes. I like it. But in doing that, she kind of had a little rant about all these things we do to avoid visible aging. You know, oh, don't do this because it causes wrinkles, don't do that because you'll end up with lines. And that reminded me about my complicated feelings about aging, in that part of me is excited. I am often guess to be younger than I am, which can be nice. Like, it's nice to, I don't know. People are always like, oh, well, you're gonna love that when you're older. You're gonna look younger than you are, which, I don't always feel good about the way our culture promotes youth as beauty and a priority. So there's weird stuff where, like, when I was growing up, I still love gray hair, but as a child I didn't have the filter, and I would tell people that I really loved their silver hair and their, you know, gray hair and everything, and of course it was all like, oh, no, that's rude to talk about. It's not technically rude to say, I like your hair is your hair, it's cool, and I think silver hair is awesome. I'm super excited for when my hair goes gray, and I can tone it to colors, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. I loved when my hair was gray. It just further cemented that I cannot fucking wait for all the pigment to leave my hair and for me to have gray or white hair. It's going to be a good time. And in her talking about, you know, oh, I do this because it's going to stop this thing that does wrinkles, and then having a rant being like, but do we really care about aging? It's, you know, it's a body. It's what happens after time. It shouldn't be an inherently negative thing. I'm using Franken bronzer, by the way. Not that anything's going to be surprising about the second half of my routine. Other than eyeshadow, I don't really do much to the rest of my routine other than the same thing over and over again. But, like, I raise my eyebrows so that you can see more of my hooded lid, which then makes these fun creases on my face, which will eventually become wrinkles. And I have conflicting opinions about that because I like to see what I did on here, and I automatically raise my brows kind of to show that I'm listening when I want someone to believe that I, you know, to have a visible representation of the fact that, yes, I am paying attention, I am listening, I'm giving you my focus while they're talking to me. And my sister had the same thing, and she talked about trying to train herself to stop doing that because she was getting lines up there, which doesn't matter if you have lines up there, it's your face. You're going to have lines in all the places that your face creases and bends as it creases and bends over the years. But because of the way our society values youth and kind of makes a big deal about being beautiful even though you're older, not being beautiful as just being beautiful. And even then, beauty as a value, not just a thing. Not everything needs to be beautiful. Not everything is aiming to be beautiful. That is not the only value you bring. It can be. Like, I like makeup. I like these things. I like the aesthetic of certain shades and colors and shapes on my face. But I don't think that higher or lower is my value. It's just fun for me. So when I realize that I'm avoiding doing certain things, you know, yeah, I don't go out in the sun very much because I'm a corpse and because I know how damaging sun can be on especially pale skin. A, I've had sunburns, they're not fucking fun. B, I don't want skin cancer. And there's that part of my brain that says, well, your skin's going to age more with more sun exposure. And so you already have the justification of you're pale, so, you know, load up on the sunscreen, do this, that, whatever. And there's a value of its health. It is health to some extent. But then I'm like, there's that part of my brain that's saying, oh, but, you know, as you do more sun exposure, you're going to get wrinkles. And why do I care? If I'm so excited about having gray hair, why can't I also be excited about wrinkles, or at least just ambivalent of that's just what my body is going to do as it gets older. So, having complicated feelings about things that you don't really think about being so ingrained in your psyche. Because I'm not over here saying that, oh, women and people in general are only good when they're young. No, people have value at all age, and even then, you don't need to have value to be awesome. There is no inherent value to the fact that I collect mugs, other than that sometimes I need a mug to hold liquids. I collect them because they're fun. Not because there is more value with more mugs. I have a very, very cool thing that my sister brought me back from her trip to Mexico a long time ago when I house sat for her. He's actually right here. He's dusty, but he's really cool. It's a ceramic skull with all sorts of cool stuff on it, and he serves no purpose other than, I think he's cool. And my sister thought he was cool, so she brought him back, and I love him. And he just sits there, being cool. I've lost my point, but yeah. That totally brings it back, saying, but yeah. Makes you understand the inner workings of my mind, obviously. So that was Argyle and Hot Mama Blush from the Balm. More Argyle here, more Hot Mama back here. Because I'm panning them. And they're really, really nice, actually, for everyday makeup. They're very versatile so far. Brows. We're doing brows now. So it's weird to realize you're avoiding doing stuff because it's going to age you, it's going to cause wrinkles. When I don't logically have like a deep fear of having wrinkles, but there's that part of me that has been in a culture that says, oh no, stop that, you're going to get wrinkles. And then I stop doing the thing. And even stuff I don't do, like I don't smoke. And I know that that is another thing that is both a health thing and can be a thing people will use and say, oh, well, don't smoke because it's going to give you wrinkles, it's going to do this and that aesthetically non-pleasing thing. But it's not fun to be reminded that you have secret little workings of your mind that somebody else put there, and then you have to kind of like dig down to the root and say, why do I potentially care about wrinkles? I don't stand there and say, oh, I don't like this one person because they have wrinkles. Normally I don't like them because I don't like their personality, or because they do stuff, actions that I don't like. There are things people do where I'm like, I don't understand the aesthetic, but I would, in theory, not hate somebody entirely based on their aesthetic. But why is there a secret part of my brain that says, oh no, aging bad, that I don't think I put there? I don't like that it's there. Just like skincare. I like when my skin is happy and healthy. And some of that is that it feels nice not to have, zits or can be very painful. Irritated skin can be painful. Unmoisturized skin can be dry and uncomfortable. But where does that section of this is skincare for health reasons, for like the physical health of my skin, and me finding things that supposedly will lower the appearance of my pores, because I got plenty of pores. I've got large pores. I've had a couple spots in my face where like I had a clogged pore, and I guess it stayed in there long enough that I don't think that pore is ever shrinking back down to its pre-clogged state. Like I have one, actually, I have a couple in various spots, normally on my cheekbones, because that's where I put a lot of product. And technically, if you layer enough product, you are risking your skin getting clogged up with product and it being harder to get all of it out at the end of the night and more acne in that area. But the size of my pores is not a medical health thing. That's an aesthetic thing. So when I look at serums, some of which are for moisturizing my skin so that it's happy and healthy and not mad at me and dry and irritated and painful. And what parts of me are looking for things that do stuff I like lower the redness of my skin, just because I have pale skin and blood that comes real close to the surface, so it's super visible when I blush or flush or whatever. Foundation helps with that. And the aesthetics of caring about how big the pores of my face are. Some of that is, it would be nice to have, like, there's just a niceness to smooth texture. It's just a thing. I like smooth texture. I like different textures on some stuff, but there's something really, really nice about clean, smooth texture on, like, metal and, like, mirror glazed cakes, and it's just can be a general feel-good thing. And the fact that makeup tends to aesthetically, to me, look better on smooth, less textured skin, but I still have pores on my face, a lot of which are visible to me. I can make out my pores. And should I care? And how do I stop caring? And all sorts of fun overthinking stuff. Some of me has come to just kind of deal with the fact that my skin's never going to be baby smooth. I've got pores, I've got peach fuzz, I've got stuff. Ooh, when did I do that? A bunch of blush on my hand. I am going into Star. See? I finished this one and this one. I have a little bit of Lucky Clover and a little bit of Star left. I'm really excited. I've hit the point of panning on a bunch of stuff that it's so close to being done. I'm really excited because I've got these pans. I just got some pan in my Franken shadows. I'm getting what looks like close to pan in one of those blushes because I had already worked on it. I've got a lot of things that are really close to finishing up. I also get to go extra heavy adding the highlight on because I know I'm going to wear a bunch of it off when I put on a mask for errands this afternoon. I have so much pan. I've got those pans, I've got this pan and that itty bitty pan, and I got this itty bitty pan. I got pan and this. I have so many things that are just, the effort of trying to use things towards finishing is starting to really pay off, and I'm so excited for it. Setting spray. There we go. I also get to justify using the ridiculous amount of setting spray that I use now because I'm like, oh, well, I have to make sure everything's all sealed and nice because it's going to go under a mask, even though it's going to wear off some anyway. I've also found, since going back to work, that instead of just dicking around while my setting spray dries, I can walk over to my dresser and put on my jewelry that previously had moved around as to different times I was doing different things at different parts of my routine. Sorry, I just have to like make sure that they hang at good spots. Because I'm so happy with these skull threader earrings. Threader earrings in general, I am super happy with right now. Instead of having to pick out 2 earrings and decide if both of them match my outfit and worrying about adding things in, that's just way faster. Mascara. Yeah. So, fun times of deciding whether things you like and or prioritize are things you like and prioritize because they mean something to you, or because society snuck into your brain and gave you specific opinions on something like wrinkles that you didn't sign off on. And that, like, I randomly get kind of sad that since I have hooded lids and I have, like, that area is going to droop as I get older, I'm going to have less lid space to work with, and I already don't have a ton of lid space to work with, and should I care about that? Well, there's another part of my brain saying, you don't even know if you're still going to like and want to play with makeup when that is an issue, or if your aesthetic for what you like to do with your face is going to be the same. I was intending this to be like a chill talk about how you can like stuff and form your own opinions about what you do and don't like. Instead, I feel like I came across as having a bit of a crisis about the fact that somebody else, snuck opinions into my brain that I'm still finding. Which was another thing that Nisa was talking about that I really resonated with me. The trend of mid to late 20s, or just, like, older YouTubers having strong, important interactions with their younger teen fan base, and how things mean drastically different things to you at different parts of your life. So, me talking to people about my same age range about something might be kind of flippant and just kind of casual and off the cuff, whereas saying the same things around somebody who is younger might really stick in their brain in a way that we don't intend. So you have to be very careful about who and what you're saying to people. And be prepared for the fact that it's going to mean different things to different people. And yeah, it's real weird. I have cousins and nieces and nephews who are younger than me, and I'm like, I don't feel super adult most of the time, because I don't think anybody short of, like, 80 feels like an adult, unless you are lying. But you start thinking about the way you talk and the way you act, and whether or not that's going to impart to younger people you're, interacting with, if that's going to impart the message and values that you want. So, being directly involved in the lower generation and, like, knowing that certain things we say and do around and even not really that near, like my niece and nephew, that's going to impact them as adults. That's going to interact with the way they create their adult selves, and whether or not that is what we hope they end up being, like, kind, caring, thoughtful people, and people who feel and act certain ways. We're very much hoping that they grow up compassionate and thoughtful and kind, and who really value the way their interactions affect other people, which is something we have to then do ourselves. And there's all sorts of stuff that you forget about until somebody says, oh yeah, you remember that something that an older relative or family member or just person you were around might have said that really stuck weirdly in your brain, that didn't mean anything to them, but meant something to you. Oh yeah. brings back all the stuff you're like, oh yeah, I remember this, and this, and this, and this, which probably did not at all mean anything to them when they were saying it. They didn't think about it, it was just something they said, didn't care, didn't think about, and it impacted you X and such way. Makes you very stressed about how things are going to work and how you can try and have better impacts that way. So yeah, the anxiety's been just circling and thinking. It's been great. Normally I really get excited about using gloss, but since we've been wearing so many masks and I don't want to deal with, like, lipstick does transfer a little bit, but gloss transfers way more and is much messier somehow. But I think we need to go with more lipstick. And I could use, like, I'm so close to using up Rosewood that I should probably use that, but I don't really want to. I feel like with this is a good time for Griffin, but since all of the Anastasia lipstick tubes are the same, you have to kind of pick up all of them and look at the bottom to check the name. That's right. Okay. And then I'm going to line with Brooklyn Thorn from NYX, because they have worked well together for me. Blotting off the last little bit of lip balm has been helpful. I've also noticed, since I've been trying to use lip liners, that they have really helped. I knew they helped with bleeding. I didn't really think about it more beyond that, and that it doesn't transfer the same. I bring a big old Nalgene around with me pretty much everywhere in order to have water, and so my lipstick gets on that and I kind of have to keep wiping it down throughout the day, but the lip liner does not transfer off as much, so I don't get those same spots where, like, I'll drink and then drink later and the lipstick will kind of transfer and, like, fuzz out on certain parts of my lip. I did not have with lip liner. I was like, oh yeah, that's why people do this step. Still not any good at it, but we're getting there. Nope, nope. That was a bad plan. What am I doing with the shape of my lips? Okay. It's not great, but it'll have to do. Now that I've ranted and potentially given you guys secondhand anxiety about my anxiety. Fun, fun. We're almost done. Oh no. The lipstick bullet is loose, which is really unfortunate because this is one of my favorite lipsticks. And I don't know how to fix loose lipstick bullets. I've tried, they fuck up. Okay, cool. Great, that's what I wanted today. You know, that's good enough. We'll leave it there for now. I'll have to now apparently melt this lipstick into a pot. despite the fact that I don't know how well that's going to work with this lipstick formula. At least I have a lipstick brush that I like. Feelings. I gotta go. Thank you for watching me. I will see you next time.